They don't care anymore. The phones have won. I close my eyes and lean my head back as the plane takes off, exhaling a stream of pent-up breath. I feel as if there's a wick in my scalp, sucking up oil and igniting into pure fire, lower levels of estrogen and progesterone sending my temperature regulation systems into disarray. My hypothalamus demanding heat and a paradoxical effect to cool me down. It's the same process that's occurring on a global scale. I feel the way the planet must feel. Stressed, toxic, out of control. I turn on the overhead air nozzle and aim the hard, cool stream at my scalp. Cool down the poles, that's how you fix it. And slip into the human equivalent of airplane mode, a long, blank time. The white roar of the engines mutes the shit show I left behind me, as well as the shit show I'm flying toward. Eyes closed, I hang suspended in this calm, empty present, surrounded by docile strangers in a tube of metal zooming north through a clear sky. When I open my eyes again, we're descending over thick pine forests rolling to meet the hard metallic skin of the Atlantic Ocean, glinting in the sunlight. A small, sneaky pang of emotion surges in my stomach as the plane bumps to the ground. Coming back to Maine is complicated. No one is prouder or more defensive of the place than a native daughter who went away somewhere bigger to seek her fortune. But along with my pride is something else. A small, quailing dread, the knowledge that I'm an outsider here. The people I left behind, the ones who've white-knuckled it through all the winters I've missed, hacking at icy driveways and shelling out most of their income for heating oil, might think I feel superior to my own people now. And they'd be mostly right, but the rest of me feels an irrational yearning to belong here again. In the orderly, logical sequence everyone in the world still seems to cling to, even as we tumble further into chaos everywhere else, we file, seat by seat, row by row, off the plane and down the ramp with the welcome home sign flanked by a lobster and a moose. I pull my roller bag through the glass revolving door, and there's Celeste in her black Mercedes SUV, parked at the curb right in front. I see her tense expression through the windshield. Eyes beady, neck craning in that way I know so well, preparing herself to greet me. I wave at her, and her expression morphs instantly, a big, hard smile, a zealous windshield wiper wave back. She leaps from the car and pulls me over with the force of her hug. "You're here," she says on a funny, breathy hiccup that catches and bursts. I can feel her skull pressed against mine. In spite of everything, I love this person with every cell in my body. We lean into each other, and I can feel her shaking with sobs as strong as hard laughter. After a moment, we pull apart. She wipes her eyes. "Is this all?" she asks, helping me stow my bag in the way back, tossing it as if it weighs nothing. My sister, who looks droopy and without turgor, a frail lily, has always been far stronger than I am, a stealth Amazon. "Aren't you here for 2 weeks?" "This is everything," I say. I'm an anomaly in our 3-person family, now reduced to 2. Our mother, Lucy Gautreau Calloway Johnson Michaud, came at life with a cosmopolitan, woman-of-the-world confidence, jaunty and high-handed. Whether she was trying on a gauzy, tacky Renee's scarf or professing undying admiration for a famous but mediocre artist or proudly bringing to the dinner table a deeply terrible dish, her own devil-may-care naivete was nothing she ever seemed to be remotely aware of. Lucy was a kook, and Celeste has always been one too, just with more self-awareness. Last time my sister came to visit me in D.C., over a year ago, she brought with her, for a short weekend, an enormous, squishy green behemoth of a suitcase with no wheels and a clamshell top that snapped shut with clamps. She looked it around as if it weighed nothing, as if it were a perfectly normal thing to own. Now, Lucy dead, Celeste and I, over a half-century old, I feel queasily implicated thinking about that green suitcase. What makes me think I'm not exactly as much of a gawky provincial kook as my mother and sister? Of course I am. The difference is that I spent my life aware of and trying to hide my own propensity for flamboyant weirdness, while Lucy and Celeste happily swanned about, not caring, protected by arrogant bliss.